them 10 litres,
You have to wait.
it goes stone cold. Yeah, so you just have to leave it then.
Yeah.
It's roughly about 10-15 minutes, something along them lines, for it to reheat it back up again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
happy with that?
Yeah.
Now, as I say, for draining it down, the reason I tend to drain it down after every breakaway is because, say, if I'm not going out in the van for 2 months, do I really want to be using water that's been sat in there for 2 months?
No.
So what I tend to do is just drain it down. So when I'm packing down on the site, I'll simply lift that up, drain it down, and then just know next time I go away, I just need to refill the system back up. Okay, happy?
Yep.
Happy? Fantastic. So the blue box you can see in the middle there, I'll let the camera lady squeeze in. This one here, that's just the computer for your motor mover. Okay, so that's the clever gadgetry bit, which I'll show you your motor mover afterwards. We've then got what is known as your consumer unit. So this is your sort of powerhouse for the vehicle. Now on the end there, you can probably see it from there, the black button is your system shutdown button. Now what this one does is isolate any drain off your leisure battery. So say if you didn't keep it home and you couldn't get it plugged in, you can switch that off and it will just stop any drain off your leisure battery. But obviously if you've got it at home plugged in on the drive, I would just leave that switched on, there's no need to turn it off. Okay, you have got 2 little buttons on there. They change the settings on the screen. Now that's more an engineer's thing, so for yourselves you don't really need to worry about them 2 buttons. Moving on down, we've got reverse polarity. So you're planning on going abroad in your van, or are you going to stick to this country?
This country probably.
Yeah. All it is the French and Germans are slightly backwards to us. So their positives, our negative, if you get what I mean. The power's just reversed. So if you do go abroad, that will light up to let you know there's a problem with the power externally. It won't power anything up in the van. It lights up and sort of stops the power inside there for you. So once you've remedied the situation outside, once that lights off, it is powering up the vehicle for you.
How do you remedy the situation outside?
Is either a rewire of your leads or an adapter. Okay. But I mean, if you're not going abroad, you shouldn't have to worry about that one. We've then got battery charger and heating and hot water. Now, I would just leave them 2 on constantly because they are only ever live when you're plugged into the mains. And obviously when you're plugged into the mains, A, you want your battery charger going recharging your battery, and B, you want to be running your heating and hot water on mains electric. Okay, so just leave them 2 on. And the one on the end is exactly as it says, it's spare. It's just there to look good. All this is, in this generation, these were the first ones with the Aldi central heating systems. So these were a bit behind the times where they only needed 1 switch for the heating. Now some of the other vans still needed 2, so it's just there as an add-on. We've then got 12 volt fuses and 240 breakers, but they are all labelled up on here. So if you are ever having any electrical problems or something's not switching on, just come, have a quick check down here, see if it is any of them, and then just pull the fuse out and just replace it exactly the same as you would in your car.
Yeah, easy done.
Okay, happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Well, that's the most complicated bit out of the way, apart from the heating, but we'll get to that one next for you. So, above the door now. As I say, yeah, you can sit on that side now if you want to swap sides. Don't know where to stand best, so I'm not in everyone's way. So, control panel above your door. So, power off, quite explanatory. Everything's off in the van. The only 2 items that are left on now, 1 is your fridge and 2 is your heating system. So when you're switching everything off, you need to switch, say, your fridge off, your heating, and then the control panel. Okay, so they're just 3 items that are all individually powered up, sort of thing. So other than that, we'll put the power back on and you'll see everything comes on. Now, as for the lights in the vehicle, that's because I've gone round and switched everything on.
Yeah.
So you can have it lit up as much or as little as you want. All it is we like to put everything on so we're dazzling you on the... you can see the beautiful van that you bought. Other than that, on the screen up here, we've got the little green light on the power, lets us know the control panel's on. The one inside the caravan's letting us know we're running on the leisure battery. And then the lightning strike is obviously your mains electric. So when you're switching on and you're on mains, they're the 3 lights you want to see. Now the only reason there's a light for the caravan and one for the vehicle is you can run off the 12 volt battery in your car if you flatten this battery. But the only thing is then if you flatten the battery in the car, you're definitely not going anywhere. Okay, so mainly, really, you want to always be running off the leisure battery, and as you don't sound like you're going to be wild out backing in the caravan in the beyond. At least you'll be on electric supply site, so you don't really have to worry because you've got your mains electric on. Okay. Rest of the buttons on here, we've got view levels, so it just shows us the condition of your leisure battery, and then if we were plugged into the car, it'll also show us the power of your car battery as well. Okay, so this is where if you've got it plugged on your drive, you can just come in and check the power in your leisure battery. Obviously you need the mains off, because at the minute it's showing me with the battery charger going as well, so it'll always show 14 volts. But really, as long as it's anywhere in that green range, you know, all right. Once you're starting to get into the yellow there, your battery is starting to run low, so it definitely needs a charge then. Okay. Then you have got leisure battery and vehicle battery. So that is how you would swap over if you ever needed to, but for yourselves, I think you'll never need that feature. Okay.
Yeah, you're not going
No.
too far away at the moment.
No. Well, some people do. They'll go on what's called a rally, and that's literally where they all just turn up in a field in the middle of nowhere, and they're self-sufficient.
Yes.
So they have no mains water, no electric, no nothing. Yeah. I think you might as well stick a tent up then. I think if you're doing that. So now I'm going to come to this lovely control panel on the side here. So this is the control panel for your heating and hot water. Okay. So. I'll talk about the front screen. The black plug on the front here is letting us know we're running on mains electric. So that's that orange light on your consumer unit. If I switch that off, that black plug will disappear, which means we're running on the 12 volt. But obviously when you're on mains, you want to be running it on mains, so you want to see that black plug there. Okay, and then just below us, it's just telling us the temperature, so 26 degrees. Whew. Yeah. So now, if I press menu, it wakes up this screen. Now, it's a bit like, you know, when you get a new telephone, you can't use the thing, can you? You can't figure out how to get to photos or anything. What I'm going to show you now is the basics. So I'm teaching you how to make a phone call and send a text message. As for the rest of it, I will talk through it, but my main aim today, if you can make a phone call and send a text message, I'm happy, boy. So this is what I'm showing you now, the basics of it. So the top one is just your thermostat. So you just plus and minus it to whatever temperature you want your heating set at. So, I don't know, say you've got your heating set at 18 at home, or whatever you've got it on. You simply set the system to 18 then. And say in the middle of the night it then drops below 18 degrees, the heating system will automatically kick in and heat up the van for you while you're fast asleep. So it keeps the van at that temperature for you. Okay? Best advice with the thermostat is don't be too much, you have it at 18 at home, and then be sat in here thinking, whew, it's hot or whew, cold. Set the temperature to where you feel comfortable inside the van. But how the central heating works, it virtually turned the whole outside of your van into a giant radiator. So the heat just comes up all the backs here.
Yeah.
And I will assure you, you will never ever be cold in this van. You will be opening a window before you're putting a blanket on your knees.
Yeah, the windows will be open all the time.
Like it cooler then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a particular fan of heat unless I'm on holiday and I've got a pina colada in the other hand. So, top one, thermostat for your central heater. Simple as that. Second one down is for your hot water. Now you can't turn your hot water off. As soon as you switch this unit on, your hot water's automatically on. But what it is, inside that boiler, until there's water present, it won't start heating up the element as such. So you don't have to worry about, in some other older ones, if you switch your water heater on with no water, it's like boiling a kettle with no water in. But in the modern system you've got in here, you don't have to worry about that. So once you've got water in the system, the tank will automatically just heat up for you. The feature you have got on your water tank is water boost mode. Now what this is for, the lovely lady's been in the shower for too long and used all your hot water. You're in a rush to get out and you think, hang on, let's speed up the time that tank will reheat. It's turn it on to water boost. What it does is switch off your central heating, puts all its power into that water boiler for you. So where I said 10-15 minutes, it may be 5-10 minutes to reheat that tank for you. But once you've finished with water boost, you do need to come and just switch it back off. Because remember, when you're in water boost mode, you've got no central heating as such. Okay? Yeah. Happy with that? Yeah. Excellent. Now, the bottom two are your power selects. So, electric, that's electric off, or it will run on 1 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts, or 3 kilowatts. Now, the easiest way to describe that look then, what are you on about? Easiest way of describing that is think of a gold Granny Mays 3-bar fire. So you think 1 kilowatts is 1 element, 2 kilowatts is 2 element, and 3 kilowatts is 3 elements. All it is the more power you send to the unit, the faster everything will heat up for you. Okay? Happy with that? Yeah. Then, last one down the bottom is your gas. That's gas off, that's gas on. It is as simple as that. Now, as long as your bottle's switched on, the system will automatically purge and ignite itself. If it doesn't, it will come up with a little warning triangle, green, yellow triangle will flash at you saying gas failure. At that point, all you need to do is come outside, make sure you've got your gas switched on, come in here, simply switch the unit off, and turn it back on again, and it will automatically purge and ignite the gas for you. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can run the system just on electric or just on gas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can run it or both at the same time. The only reason I'd say you use both at the same time is if it's winter and it's really cold, you've been out for the day, you want to heat the van up quicker, put it on full power, but then maybe knock the gas off and maybe knock it down to 2 kilowatts of electrics. Okay, but it's not, you can't do any damage by whatever level you run on. All it is the more power you can throw at it, the faster it'll heat up. So it'll work fine on 1 kilowatts, but all it is, it'll take longer just for it to heat back up for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's the basics. Are you confident you can send a text message and make a phone call?
Yep.
Yeah? Fantastic. So I'm going to blow your mind now and talk about the rest of the thing. So I'm going to press the little spanner in the bottom corner and it brings up all the rest of the menus. Yeah, do you see what I mean? So I'll just scoop through these because I don't want to overload you today, but at least you've got the video so you can watch it back. Once you've got the hang of it, it's the same as your phone, and once you've got the hang of it, you start figuring out how to download games and send emails and whatever else.
Text and make phone. You don't go further than me.
Oh,
I've
fantastic.
still got an old Nokia. So
Oh, you haven't still got Snake as well, have you?
oh, very likely.
Oh,
I don't
it's
even
not
know
quite
if I've
that
got
old.
well, isn't it not quite that old?
Not quite that old.
So on the screen here, there we go. So the first one is just a clock that's just setting the time and date. The moon symbol is a night timer, so if you like a reduced temperature at night, you can pre-program the system. So say at 10 o'clock it knocks your heating down to 12 degrees or something. The hourglass is a one-off, once-a-week timer. So this is where, say you've got it on your drive in the winter, you can set a one-off timer. So say every Monday morning, the heating system will switch on, run for 24 hours and shut off. All it is, it helps keep damp out the van. So obviously if you leave it with no heat in it whatsoever, where at least if you heat it up once a week, it helps keep the damp down in the vehicle for you. Okay, we've then got that. I'm talking not fast enough. These three across the middle, this is a feature they put on this year's model. Next year's come, these buttons disappeared because for yourselves, they've really got no use. All it is you can change the pump. You pump from thermostatically controlled to constantly running. Now, if you want to know what boiling a bag rice feels like, turn your thermostat off and leave it on constantly because it'll heat up to 30 degrees and stay there. So I wouldn't play with them because 30 degrees is more than hot enough. The one with the A in it is to change it over from 12 volt to 240, but it's on auto for you already. So imagine if you lose power in the middle of the night, the system will automatically run off your 12 volt system. So if you have a power cut in the night, it won't shut off your heating system for you. Okay, then again I'm not talking fast enough. The one with the little volume symbol in the middle, that jumps just the pump speed of how fast it circulates every round it, but it really has very minimal effect. So it's just a feature they put on and decided to lose it next year, so I wouldn't worry about that for yourself. Same as this one here with the little bottle on it there, that's winter or summer gas. But again, it doesn't make a blind bit of difference whether you have it on or not. So just leave it off. It's got no use for yourselves. You don't need to worry about it. The only good one is this little Pac-Man. Now, what this one is it does look like a Pac-Man, is an antibacterial for your 10-litre hot water tank. With it switched on in the middle of the night, it heats up that tank just to sort of sterilise that tank for you. So when you're using that water in the morning, at least you know it's clean water in there for you. Okay, but all you need to do is just have it on or off. It's as simple as that, and it'll just happen in the middle of the night. You won't even hear it. It just does it. Then so this is where you can adjust the thermostat that's on here. So if you've got a secondary thermometer and they're reading two separate things, you can adjust this so it reads the same as that one. That's just for OCD people, I think. Yeah. Then last few bits now. Key beep, if you want it not to beep every time you press a button. Sunshine is just the brightness of the screen. Language, if you want to speak French or German to it. Keypad lock, if you've got any little fingers that like to fiddle with things and change all the settings. External is where you can get extra devices added to this so you can control your heating via a mobile phone app. Ampage, now this is quite a good one. You can set an amp limit for your heating system. So most modern sites are 16 amps, but if you go to a farmer's field, you may find it's either a 10 or a 6 amp supply. Now, say if it's a 6 amp supply, I would definitely be running this on gas and that on gas because it gives you the extra electrics to pay with. But imagine if you've got a 6 amp site, you've got this on electric, you've got that on electric. I know for a fact every time you switch your microwave on or put the kettle on, you trip the electrics. So if you're on a 6 amp supplying site, run all your items on gas rather than electric, and it gives you extra electric to play with to charge your phones up or watch telly or anything like that. Okay, but all you need to do, if you are on there, you can set, as I've shown you, an amp limit in there, plus or minus it, and it will stop the heating system from overloading it. So what it mainly does is, say you flick a kettle on, it will switch the heating off while that kettle's boiling. When the kettle's finished boiling, it will resume its normal order. So it just saves you having to go outside every 2 minutes to redo the switch.
Yeah.
Okay. Have I suitably blown your mind now?
No.
No? Happy days. Last one. Service.
That one might.
Yeah, sorry. Service just brings up any alarm codes or faults or anything, if there is any. Good old reset. So the same as anything electrical nowadays, if it's not behaving, just hit the reset, it closes it all down and reboots everything back to factory settings. So it's a bit like unplugging your Sky every time it goes funny and plug it back in. Just as simple as that. And again, translator on the bottom is a button that appeared on this year's and never ever appeared on any of the others. So it's just there. You can press it if you really want, but it does virtually nothing. So I wouldn't worry about it for yourselves. Okay. But my main thing, as long as you're happy on that front screen, I'm a happy boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
The ampage one is good.
Yeah. Perfect. Right, now I'll get on to the exciting stuff of the actual caravan itself. So, as I say, you don't have to move there, we'll do the front one. So, obviously you have got the front table, just pulls out and drops back down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the front table at the front. We have also got all your book inside there with all your manuals, doing some spare fuses and everything in there, and your main manuals there for you. Okay, so as much as me talking today, there is also bits of paper to go with everything as well. And then just a bottom drawer in the thing, and then just a little cubby hole in the front corner there.
Yeah.
Front bed, there's your slats for the front bed.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is just pull that out gently and straight,
Yeah.
all the way to the end, and then all it is 1, 2, 3, 4 cushions. Now, as where you lay the cushions, always sleep on the underside of them.
Yeah.
But as for the ways you put them, it's down to yourselves. So obviously I'm quite large in the derriere, so I like the wide bit in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the smaller ones on the ends. But there's no right or wrong way, it's just whatever way you guys feel comfortable sleeping on it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then light switches, there is just various light switches here, there and everywhere. But this one got me when I first started because I thought, what is that turning on and off? Ah, look at Hawkeye's there.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. So this is a little marker light on the floor here. So if someone goes to the toilet in the middle of the night from up here, they don't have to illuminate the whole van, they can just put the little marker light on down there.
clever.
As for everything else, there is just oodles of switches here, there and everywhere. So you'll have fun and games figuring out
Finding
which one does what. I'll give you a hint, these ones are directly switched on it.
Right, okay.
But the others are dotted around. I won't waste my time telling it
No.
because I know you'll forget, but by the time you've played with it, you'll remember where everything is. Okay.
Yeah.
You've obviously got the little pop-up table here. Once it's popped up, at the end of the runners, there's little buttons on the end to drop it back down. So that's it, lift it up, and then if you look on the ends there, see what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Press the buttons and then you can drop it back down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I'll do your fridge next. So you've got on-off on the end here, and there's your 3 power selects. So it will run on mains electric, it will run on gas, and it will also run off the vehicle battery for when we're going down the road. But as you can hear now, it's buzzing at me, letting me know there's no power source there. If the gas doesn't light, it does exactly the same, but all you need to do is press the button there on the end, and it will automatically purge and ignite your gas system for you. Okay, now if you ever want to travel with items in your fridge, you're fine to do so, but because you're keeping it at home, either run it on electric or gas, get it nice and cold, put your items in the fridge, leave it again to get nice and cold again, and then just before you set off, change it over to the vehicle battery. Okay, but all you need to do for the vehicle battery is just simply have it plugged into the car and the vehicle running and just press that button. That is it, it's as simple as that. But the vehicle battery only holds the temperature in the fridge, it won't chill it as such.
No.
So as long as you've got it nice and cold before you start, it will hold that coldness, so your milk's nice and cold, so you can have a nice cup of tea when you get there. Okay, and then door, all it is push the buttons down, and there she is. Okay, with your lovely icebox in the top. Now you can remove them ice boxes if you want, but I've got 2 little nieces, and if there's not ice pops in Uncle Obi's freezer, it's World War III.
No.
Yeah.
Or ice for the gin.
yeah, now you're talking. So, kitchen cupboards at the top, and then obviously, same on the other side. That's it, lovely. And then, kitchen drawers, utensils drawer in the top there, and then, cutlery drawer, and there's your utensils drawer.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have got your little kitchen rack that pulls out as well as a draining board and a chopping board inside there. Now there is a couple of gas shut-off valves just at the bottom down there. They are labelled up on a white sticker there, but our main advice if you ever smell gas is just to switch your bottles off. These are more there for an engineer if they ever want to, say, fiddle with your boiler or your fridge or your cooker or anything. Okay. But water system, as I've said, to prime it up, is always run the cold tap first. Now you do the cold first because then you know it's coming up out the Akrol and into the vehicle with no problems. It says what switch the water pump would be an idea. So sorry, water pump switches are just above the door. But always leave it running. It'll splutter now because we had the pipe off before. Once you've got constant running water, you know that the system's primed on the cold. For the hot, all you simply do is shut the tap off, come round to the hot, and leave it running on the hot side. Once you've got constant running water like that, you know the boiler's full of water and you've got all the air out the system. Okay? It's as simple as that. And she should start steaming. Well, she's certainly hot. Come on, steam. Steam. Yeah. It is hot. It is hot.
No steam.
No, it is hot, honestly, believe me.
Oh, it is hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Woo.
There you go. Before I run out of water outside. Now, I think I've run out of water. Hear that sound now?
Yeah.
Oh, she has stopped now. What it is if you've run out of water externally, that pump will keep going. It's a good indication you've run out of water. It will shut off as it has now, as long as it can repressurise itself.
Right.
But imagine if you've run out of water out there, the pump's looking to repressurise it, but it's just sucking in air, there's nothing there. So all you simply need to do, come above the door, switch your water pump off, refill your Akrol, obviously attach it back in, come back in, switch your water pump on, and then just pull it back through your taps as I've just done there.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Lovely. So, microwave next. So simple. I don't know if you want to swap sides.
Maybe.
Yeah, let me go that way. So, for your microwave, you can just press quick start and it goes up in minutes. Or, if you press the microwave button once, that's your power output. It's an 800 watt microwave. If I press microwave again, there's your timer.
Right.
Okay, and then just a good old start and stop. Best advice is take that out before you get on the road.
Yeah.
Main reason being, if it does happen to jump out, you will not believe how expensive these two items are to replace. So it's free to take it out, wrap it in a towel, pop it in the sink, or very simply, just wedge it underneath the cushion there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's as simple as that.
All the cupboards lock.
Yeah, all the
Don't
cupboards
they?
lock.
They
Every
lock,
single
yeah.
one of them, you have to press the button to
yeah.
release the cupboards.
Yeah.
Sorry, and if you pull them all the way up to the top, they stay as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and your stereo's just inside there. There is a book inside there for your car stereos. I'd love to talk about all the features in them, but you'll probably be about another hour.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll sort
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Then, what should we do next? Do your cooker next. So, you've got 1 to 6 on this end. That relates to your electric ring on the back there. But obviously your electric ring will only work when you're plugged into the mains power.
Yeah.
Okay, we've then got 1, 2, 3 gas burners with a lovely 12 volt igniter.
Yeah.
So as long as there's power in your leisure battery, you'll always have a spark for your cooker. Okay, and then it's just as easy as 1, 2, too impatient, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's your 3 gas burners for the top. Now, best advice with this, well, you'll know it from cooking at home, if you're out of it on for a while, especially that one, keep your glass up until all this is cooled back down.
Yeah.
Okay, then below, got your grill pan and handle, and then grill, exactly the same again, just turn, hold, and ignite. As easy as that. Okay, and the same for your oven. And again, it's just turn, hold, and ignite. Simple as that. Okay.
Brilliant.
Oven doesn't even look hardly used, does it?
No.
Then, below us here, now this is what you call your pots and pans store. So all your heavy pots and pans want to be stored down low. Obviously, if you store them up there and they jump out, they'll cause damage.
Yeah.
We're in the bottom there, they can't do any damage. Only thing is to watch, there is a plug socket in the back there, which relates to your electric ring. So I'll put £1 million, if this isn't heating up, you've caught the plug in there with a pot handle or something.
Right, okay.
So just make sure that that plug's nicely pushed in. Okay,
Yeah.
lovely. Well, we're getting there now. So obviously just various cupboards here for storage. You have got your lovely dividing door here to come across. Now, a lot of things in a caravan, you do have to be very gentle with her. That's why I always call caravan hers, because they need to be treated gently. So it is in good working order. It's just, especially if you've got any little ones around, just watch them, because things are quite easily broken in a caravan.
Yeah.
Okay? I wasn't looking at you.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. How are you working on it? So, I'll just show you inside the wardrobe. I'll let you come past. I'll let you open the wardrobe. It's probably the easiest. So, first thing, you have got a lovely light in there. It's like the light in your fridge though. Does it go off when you close the door? You never know until you get in it. You've also got your standalone table. Also, your directional TV aerial is in that corner. So if you look in the back corner there, that's the silver pole that's there. Like I say, if Dad wants to stick his head round and have a look, because I'm sure it'll be Dad that'll be... Don't be like that. So the silver pole there, all it is you unscrew the white nut at the bottom and you can push it up in the air. You can also spin it round a full 360 degrees. Now you see the green bit where it's on the green H?
Yeah.
What that is the white lever on the bottom. When you spin that round, sends it from it being horizontal and tilts it on its side. So all it does, it gives you a full range to try and hunt for a TV signal. Now obviously on our Love to Stay, the Rekin's our TV mast, so you can even pick it up without even picking it up. But if you're in deepest, darkest Wales, you may find you have to have it in a right bizarre way to get it to work. But the best advice is have a look at your neighbours. Have a quick look, see which way theirs pointing and just try and copy which way theirs is pointing. Okay? Also, in the back there, the tank that you can see with Alda written on it, that is your antifreeze solution which does your central heating. Now that's the one and only thing that doesn't need to be drained. It's good for about -30, I think it is. So you don't need to worry about that freezing up. But that's obviously the solution that's heated, which heats your van up for you. Now with that, it's just a matter of just keeping an eye on the levels. It's a bit like the coolant in your car. It's just one of them things. Every now and then, just keep an eye on it and just make sure it is between the minimum and maximum. What you'll find is more than likely it's something that will just top up on your first service. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Lovely. Well, we're getting there now. Also, his and her wardrobes. I love that. Because I wonder which one he's getting. Oh, well, you're not getting any wardrobes. Oh, well, there you go. But you have got the two wardrobes. Obviously, one's just slightly bigger than the other. The bed does nicely lift up, so there's your dual access.
Yeah.
So you can access it internally,
So that, yeah.
obviously externally as well. Now, the bed does pull out as well.
Yeah.
That's where the extra cushion comes in, so it gives the access. It obviously pushes in for the daytime, so you're not bashing your knees up against it on the way round. Another thing with the bedroom, see the little tiny light down the bottom? That's the light switch that's just on the side there by your TV connections. See down by your pocket there? See it? That's it, that's it. And one of them switches there does the little light on the floor. Oh, there you go. That's it. Okay. Just so it's another one of them switches you'll be flicking and thinking, oh, what's that doing? Right, we'll mosey on in your bathroom. I have found a good way. If I get in the shower, everyone else can get in there. I promise I'll keep your clothes on. So, for your toilet, the blue button on the top is your flush button. The longer you hold it down, the longer it flushes for. When you lift your finger off, it simply stops flushing.
Right,
It's as easy as that.
Yeah.
The little black, do you see the little black symbol on the grey on the left-hand side? Yeah, that's it. That will light up to let you know when it's his turn to empty the toilet cassette. Okay, now when it lights up, it doesn't light up when it's full, but when it lights up, I'll think about getting rid of it. Because my little nieces overfilled mine for me one day without telling me, and yes, it was an interesting job.
Yeah, right.
Now, underneath the toilet, do you see the grey lever that's just on the side of the front there?
This one.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one you operate to open and close your toilet. So, obviously, open it before you start, flush it, close the lid, and then close it. Don't close it with your face there, because you don't want to be greeted by what you've just got rid of. That's the nicest way of putting it.
So,
Okay? That slides left to right,
right,
and that's what open and closes the bottom of the toilet to access the cassette below.
right, okay.
So you just open it up, do your business, flush it, close the lid, and then just shut it back off.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Obviously, towel rail, your towel rail only heats up when your central heating's in operation. So sadly, it's not something you can just have on without your heating on.
Right,
You need
okay.
your heating in operation. Because obviously all it is, it's just like a giant radiator all the way outside. So it needs the pump heating the water to go all the way around the vehicle to heat that up for you. But obviously in the winter, it's a nice addition in here because it's lovely and toasty in these bathrooms. And then not much too exciting, mix a tap on your shower. Only thing is pin your door open for travelling.
Right.
Okay, so you'll notice, obviously that's for when you're using it, but when you're not using it and you're travelling, make sure you've pinned it back there, otherwise it's going to be
It is
slamming and
slamming
banging
around.
in the road.
Right.
Light switches, sorry I forgot to show you that, just down the end of the sink there, just on the side. That's it. So, roof
switches.
hatches, we'll just do them on the way back. So, all your hatches will have a fly screen and a blackout blind. Okay, so blackout and then fly screen on the other. For this hatch is just squeeze the handle and push up. Same on the other side, squeeze the handle and push up. But then you can direct it, so say if the wind's blowing, you can tilt it in 360 degrees, if you get what I mean, to whatever angle you want it on.
Yeah.
Now, we have cleaned it, but these are the world's stupidest design, because it's twin